What's going on, guys? Real quick lesson today. I just want to go over my favorite pattern to kind of abuse and go to when I'm a little bit stuck because it's super familiar. And also, this is one of the easiest patterns to internalize for you if you're kind of more in the beginner intermediate stage here. So let's just get right into it, and then we'll kind of go over what this pattern is and when you can play it. Hint, you can kind of play it at any time. So let's get into it. We're going to do this in A. And this is only going to be on your highest in pitch 4 strings, your D, G, B, and E. You're going to have 4, 5, and 7 on your D string. And then you're going to repeat that pattern, 4, 5, 7 on your G string. When you get to your B, you're going to go 5, 7, 8. And then when you get to your high E string, you're going to play that same pattern, 5, 7, 8. Okay. So that was real quick because this is not a complex pattern. But I just want to remind you, one, there's the obvious relation to your minor pentatonic box. Right? There's your obvious relationship to that box here, which makes this really easy to internalize, because I'm sure if you're not familiar with the Dorian scale, if you're not familiar with that scale, you're at least familiar with this minor pentatonic outline, right? So now we can just kind of fill in the dots here, fill in the holes. Mind out of the gutter, people. Yeah. So we got, if you were just playing your minor pentatonic, you would just have 5 and 8. You're going to add 7, so that's your second scale degree. And then on your B string, the 7th fret, that's your major 6th scale degree. So you're adding your 2, it's a major second there, it's a whole step, not a half step, right? And then you're adding your major 6th interval as well. No, that's flat. That's the flat 5. Don't do that. Well, do that, actually. The flat 5 is fantastic. I really love this pattern. It's got its obvious relationship to the pentatonic scale, right? But by just adding those 2 notes in there, you're really adding a lot of flavor, in my opinion. I really like to come up and bend the 2 up to the 3. I do that a lot when I'm playing over a minor chord. I like to also ride that major 6 a lot. Like land on it and stuff like that. I just like the way that the major 6 sounds. The nice thing about that major 6 too is that is also going to be the third scale degree of your 4 chord in that key. So if you're an A, if you're playing this over an A and it moves to a 4 chord, which would be D, that's a money note, because that is also that is a chord tone when you get to your 4 chord. So I just find this pattern too. And then I mess it up, right? I find this pattern. It can also be built for speed too if you get some dirt on there. You can. I'm not giving a very good example right now, but you get it. I'm a little rusty. Just woke up. Can I give that as an excuse here, guys? I'm not a shredder. You guys know that. I hope that helps. This is going to be super quick because this is nothing complex. I just want to remind you that if you're just looking to kind of spice up, that normal pentatonic pattern of yours, those 2 notes are my winners. And it does give you pretty much just your Dorian scale, but at the same time it's great because it does work over a major or a minor chord, right? So if you get to an A, if you're in the key of I don't want to say in the key of A major, but like a blues type of progression, using a 1 and 4 and a 5. You know, because I don't want to make blanket statements like if you're in A major. I hate to say that because we're going to get too into the weeds, which we don't want to do in this video. But, you know, to give an example of what I mean and why this is getting me kind of fumbling here is because let's say we were just playing like a 2-chord progression in A major. I definitely would not use this because it's going to contain the flat third and it's going to sound like booty. So I don't want to just say blanketed if you're in A major, okay? You can use this. But if you're playing over an A major chord, you can use this, okay? You know, that's what I'm going for here. Now, when you take those same 3 major chords and you make more of a blues type of progression out of it than something like I was just playing, you know, if you're playing something like that, that note right there is going to sound really, really bad. And in theory, it should also sound bad when you play the blues, but our ears are so used to it in that context and the way that that flat third sounds that it works over a major chord. And there's a lot of times the flat 3 does work over the major chord. There's just certain progressions that cycle in certain ways that you want to stay away. Let's not get... I've already gotten too into the weeds on this, but just for now, just think of this as, for the most part, you can use it over an A major, but for certain progressions, you do want to keep that third raised, okay? You can always use this in a minor situation. That major, even though the 6 there is major, that's always going to sound okay. I can't really think of any spots. I mean, I'm sure there are some where you don't want to use it. There are. I can start to think of them and rattle them off. Actually, we won't get into that. But yes, because there's times when you got to hit that minor 6. So okay. So yes. So once again, just like with the 3rd scale degree there, the 6th. This is for the most part, we're gonna say over a minor chord, that major 6 will work as well. So. I know we got a little into the weeds there at the end, but I just kind of wanted to reiterate how usable this is over anything without giving you the false hope that this will just work over absolutely anything, because that's never the case with music, you guys. And sometimes there's unexplained reasons for it, right? It's just the feel of something that isn't right and isn't working. That's for you to decide as you start playing it, okay? So, once again, there's no rules. I know I have my joking little intro to every video about the theory thing. There's no rules in this, and it really is just about having fun and playing with things. I like to joke that because I do think it's good to learn as much as you can, but, you don't have to get crazy with it, and this is certainly, for the most part, going to work in almost every improvisational situation you're in here. So hope that helps. I hope I kept this quick because I really feel like I rambled on. We'll see if that bunch of that gets edited out. Much love, you guys. I appreciate your patience with me. Like, subscribe, share, abuse that pattern, and I'll see you on the flip. Later.